Right, okay, here we are going to start the today's lesson. Last week we discussed about the preparation of online material. Right, we learned many tools that available in the internet. We learned also some practicals, I think, regarding how to do some create some learning material. Right here, there are someone asking how to get the recording. To get the recording, actually, I need some platform. At least, I'm not sure you are having a WhatsApp group in collecting your students here. Right? If you are having a WhatsApp group, then join me. Then I can share the links.
So we have a WhatsApp.
Right, in that case, you can add me. Then I can give my mobile number. Then add me for your WhatsApp group. Then I will share the links. Right? Okay. Right here in the chat box, having my mobile number there. Then collect it now. Then after the session, this number will miss in. Then you can add me. Right. Okay. Now today we are going to learn some another part of the online learning, assessment, online assessment. Right. Normally we know in normal classroom, even we doing a lesson. Then we should want to some assessment to identify student progress. Right? In normal classroom, we are doing some oral test or some kind of quiz. In that way, there are many kind of assessment there. Right? Then we should want to identify the features and there are lots of things regarding the assessment. But this subject is something else. I think you are learning that in detail in some another subject in measurement, or I think something like that. And here we are concentrate only the online part, and the technology, how you can use the technology to perform assessment in the classroom. However, in this course also you want to do some lesson through the online. You want to conduct online lesson. Therefore, you want to get how to prepare a lesson also online base. Right? Then in next couple of weeks, I will explain how to prepare a lesson plan if you want to do a classroom session in online. Right. In that case, also in that lesson plan, having introduction and then development part and the assessment. In that way, there are many sections there. Then I will teach you how to prepare that part. Here also there's the assessment part, that what we are doing today and the next week, it is very important to decide the assessment. Right. Here I'm going to share the presentation for the today's lesson. Right. Online assessment. When regarding the online assessment, here mainly we should want to concentrate in three parts, three types of assessment: CAA, CAT, and WBA. There are three main types. CAA means computer assisted assessment. Then CAT, computer adaptive teaching, and WBA, web-based assessment. Right. In that way, there are three types of assessment you want to learn under online assessment part. Here, somewhat longer session. Therefore, the next week also I'm going to cover the remaining part from today. Right. That before going to move into the CAA or CAT or WBA, then we should want to get some idea about this question regarding the assessment. Right? Normally, we should want to know, have an idea about the purpose of having assessment. Then need some little idea about the types of assessment, not in detail. The detailed discussion will be done in another subject. Then purpose of feedback and types of feedback. These are the basic question you want to familiar with before moving some computer-based assessment. Right. Then think about the purpose of assessment. We normally doing a lesson in the classroom. Then we should have some method of measure the student performance. Right. We should there are something we should want to collect. This collection represents some progress of the student. Right. That we'll see one by one here. Purpose of assessment. Right. Here given some definition. Gather relevant information about student performance or progress. That's the one of the objective purpose of the doing assessment. Gather or collecting the relevant performance of student about students student performance or progress, to determine student interest, to make judgment about their learning process. That's also another purpose. Make judgment. You should be able to, as a teacher, you should be able to make some judgment about the student. Right? That simply you can say that's a level or pass or fail. Right? In that is some kind of judgment by referring the collection of performance and progress of the student. Right? Not only making judgment, there are some other kinds of feedback also we should want to give. Right? Mainly making the judgment. Right? That's about the purpose of assessment. Then should want to get idea about the types of assessment also. There are many types of assessment we are doing in the classroom. Right? This assessment you can divide it into two main categories, formative and summative. Sometimes you already know the meaning of these terms here. However, get little idea about that. Formative meaning the assessment you are doing in the classroom, right? Not formal, not organized, right? While you are in the classroom, while you are teaching, while you are involved in the teaching process, then you want to check the student progress. Then you are doing some small kind of test. These are under formative assessment, right? Sometimes you are orally asking some question from the student. Then you are designing some short quiz, right? Then you are using blackboard or whiteboard to give in the short quiz to students. Right? Then if you are with technology, if you are having technology facilities, then you can use the internet-based tools like Kahoot. Kahoot is most popular, one of the most popular game-based assessment type. Right? You can design a game-based assessment through the Kahoot, and you can play with your student. That while you are teaching, while you are in the classroom. Therefore, that is under formative assessment. Right. Then summative is something else. The other category is summative. That's more formal and more organized. Right. Normally conduct at the end of the semester. Right. After you doing all the theoretical part after lesson, it will conduct this type of assessment. Right. Normally at the end of the semester or year end. In that case, after some period. Okay. Here giving some example for summative assessment, that term test or end semester, year-end test, or project work at the end. Right? Sometimes some courses they want to complete a project at the end of the course period. Then that's also a type of summative assessment. Right. Here, these are the main difference between the formative and summative. However, whatever the assessment you are doing in the classroom or that's related with your teaching and learning process, it categorized under formative or summative assessment. There are mainly two types of assessment. Right. Here, these are the small points you want to remember. Then we'll move to the third question. Purpose of feedback. That means the other word, that close word with the assessment is the feedback. Whatever the assessment you are conducting with the student, you must give the feedback also. Right? The feedback, there are different kinds of feedback available. Right? That given marks or score is a type of feedback. right? When you are giving the feedback, actually the first you want to identify the purpose why we are giving feedback, right? It is not that clearly conducting assessment is not only the way of improving the student, right? After you conducting the assessment, you want to give the feedback also, right? Normally in the formative part, this feedback normally you are giving in the classroom to the students, the face-to-face students is there, right? In the online sessions also, you can directly contact the students, right? That I mean that if I conduct a assessment through the online, then the same time I can give the feedback also. That last couple of week we got that type of experience also, right? But the summative part, the feedback is the students should have to wait some period to get the feedback, right? Also the feedback is structured, right? In that way there are some features also for that. Then purpose of feedback here in this slide cover the some of the purpose. Look at the slide feedback slide, the content here. They are first said about improve student learning, right? Whatever the feedback we are giving to the student, it should support to improve the student learning, right? That students follow different kind of learning strategies. Some students follow self-learning strategies. Then some students should have learn with the learning aids. Like that, their way of learning is different. According to our feedback, they can adjust. They can select the best learning strategy for their learning. Therefore, one of the purpose of having giving feedback is that, right? That feedback should support to improve the student learning. And then another purpose is constructive feedback, right? The feedback we are giving to the students should be constructive. That means our feedback should help to make improve the relationship between learner and teacher, right? Because of our feedback, it will improve our relationship between you and your student, right? That's type of feedback called as constructive feedback. Then the feedback should be appropriate, right? Mainly our feedback, because of our feedback, student encouraged to learn more, right? Extra learning, right? Right. That normally for the student, it is not enough to the things we are giving in the classroom. Always we should encourage to do something extra. Therefore, we are going to give it some feedback. Because of our feedback, students are always encouraged to do some extra working, right? That's called appropriate feedback. Then encourage student learning, motivation, right? Whatever the feedback we are giving to the students should be motivate features, motivate factors, right? Positive feedback help to motivate in learning. Then identify student performance. Then the last purpose of giving feedback, identify student performance. Then provide idea about the level in the classroom. Because of our feedback to the student, they understand their level in the classroom, right? Maybe some student weak or better, in medium, in that way some levels. The students should be understand their level in themselves, right? Our feedback help to understand their exact position, right? That is called identify student performance, right? These are the some features, some purpose of feedback. Then look at some categories, right? Or whatever the purpose here, you can put in these categories. The first one, some feedbacks you can categorize as positive feedback, right? When you are in the classroom, especially when you are doing the formative assessment, normally you are giving that positive feedback for the student, right? You are a good student, then better, average student. In that, in short feedback I'm showing you the positive feedback, right? Those are called positive, right? Good, average, average actually in medium type, good, then better, excellent, right? That type of example you can categorize under positive. Then another part is negative, another category, right? Then your performance is lower, right? You should work hard. right? That type of things you can categorize under negative, right? That direct, we are not normally we are not giving the direct negative feedback like you are a bad student, like that, right? That you should, student, the teacher should think how that particular feedback should organize, right? Negative feedback. Then negative side, in the other hand, the negative feedback also encourage student to involve with learning, teaching and learning process, right? Then the teacher task is think and giving better feedback, right? Normally in the summative assessment, right? Summative assessment, the negative feedback is directly with the student, right? If the student is failed, the student know by looking at the result, they know they are failed. That's some direct negative feedback, right? Then some other categories also, like correcting and motivating. Right? Then corrective feedback also there when you are looking at some assignment, some answers for the question. Then way of correcting, you want to give some instruction to the student how to giving the correct answers, right? The particular answer how should write down again incorrectly. Corrective feedback and motivating feedback also. If you are doing such type of this type of thing, then you will earn something else, right? That motivating feedback. If you are work hard, then you will get more result, right? In that way, you can give in the motivating feedback also, right? That's a little about the purpose of feedback. Then this initial idea you need that initial idea about the assessment to discuss the ICT based assessment, right? Here next we are going to discuss about the role of ICT in assessment, right? That earlier we identified the assessment that you know in the classroom. Normally, traditionally, you are doing some kind of assessment in the classroom, right? Then what do you mean by the ICT based assessment? When you are doing assessment in the classroom or either online, if you are using the technology, right? Technology devices or technology related things, right? That is called the ICT based assessment, right? Normally, you are using that. When you are using ICT technology, ICT thing in assessment, then you want to consider about this factor, right? Normally, ICT things, ICT technology, computers, internet, such type of things you are using during the assessment process to do these things. One is construction, right? You want to construct the assessment. Then after you construct the assessment, then you want to think how you are going to deliver it. How you are going to deliver your assessment to your student. Then how you are going to storage it. And how you are going to reporting of students' assessment tasks, responses, grades, and feedback. Then you want to think about these things, right? When you are doing assessment using the ICT or technology, right? Then forget about the ICT part. Then normally, when you are in the normal classroom, then think about how you are going to construct your assessment. Normally, how you are going to construct the assessment, that you are following the manual process, right? Then paper and pencil, then write down the assessment. Also, you can use typewriters to type it, or you can type it through the word processing package, right? That's the use of one technology there. Then deliver, how you are going to deliver. Normally, suppose your assessment in manual prepared one, then no ICT in your classroom, then how you are going to deliver it, right? Normally, exam in the classroom, exam centers, right? Then students and the supervisors and teachers should face to face, gathering should in one place, right? Then deliver the papers. The storage, then they have to use the large rooms or racks to storage the assessment. Right. In that way, think about how the traditionally happened the assessment process. The same time that now compare with once you using the technology, how you are going to construct it. That earlier I mentioned one example. Using word processing package, you can construct the assessment. Based on the internet, there are different various kind of tools that last week also, last couple of weeks, we identify some tools. Using this internet-based tools, you can construct the assessment. And I will give one experience also in later in today's session, how to construct a quiz using Google Forms. Right, then I will explain it later in the class today itself. Then that for the construction, example for construction, right? Then deliver, right? How you are going to, then think about how you are going to deliver your assessment. Once you construct using computer or internet-based tool, that is technology. After you construct it, then think about how you are going to deliver it. Not normally delivering thing happening through a link. Right? Always you are creating the link and then you are going to share it, that particular link with your students. That's the way how deliver using the technology. Then think about storage. Storage is, we need the storage things because we need it for future use. Right? Whatever the assessment we are creating, we should want to keep it in a safe place because we need it. Right? Sometimes it need for some legal purposes also. Therefore, it is important to keep it with us. Then, when you are using the technology, then think how you are going to keep it, save it for the future use. In traditionally they are using large rooms or racks or like that, but when you are using computers or technology, then memory types, you can use some memory types like hard disk, right? That's offline. Then pen drives or CDs, DVDs also possible, but their durabilities depend. However, that type of things are you can identify in technology memory devices, right? Then also another thing is web servers, right, or cloud storage. Right? Cloud storage, another name for web servers, these days very popular. This cloud storage also we are using to store our data or our assessment, right? Like Google Drive. Using the Google Drive, you can save your content there. Right? Then no need any physical devices, only the network and internet facilities we need. Right? Then reporting. How you are going to report the progress of the assessment to the student, maintaining progress. Normally, when you are working with the technology, suppose online class, like doing you and me, right? Then if I do an assessment, then how you are, how I am reporting the progress of you, right? On-screen feedback. Normally, on-screen feedback immediately after you doing the assessment, that immediately after you receive the marks, also score or marks, right? Then on-screen feedback is there, right? These are the points you want to remember when you are using technology in your assessment process, right? Then you want to think about how to construct the assessment. To construct the assessment, you have offline method as well online method. You can use word processing packages with the computer as the offline method. Then you can use internet tools as online method like Google Quiz or Flexi Quiz to construct the text papers that's specially designed for constructing the test papers. This type of tool, Google Quiz and Flexi Quiz. Then think about deliver. When you are doing online classes or when you are doing classes with technology, then think about how you are going to deliver your assessment. Normally, they are using a link, right? This link you can share with your required WhatsApp group, or you can send this link through the email or any other types of things also available to deliver the assessment links. Then storage. Then think about how you are going to store your assessment, right? Then reporting, way of reporting the student progress. Right, that's about the role of ICT assessment. Right, we are now going to do activity. Then after doing that, then we'll continue the rest of the lesson. Right. Here I'm going to share the link. This is the type of online assessment, right? That last couple of weeks also we got that experience. This also one experience. Right? And I'm going to share. I'm going to share the link through the chat box. Then think about the delivery, right? In the same time, think about this is the type of online assessment we are going to do, you and me now, right? Then think about delivery. Delivery through the link. The link normally you can deliver through the your WhatsApp groups, then email. Also, when you are in another platform like Zoom, then Zoom chat box you can use for that. And then now I am using Zoom chat box for deliver the link. Right. Here the links is available now in the Zoom chat box. 2 times I posted it. Right. Now click on the link here. That last time also I gave this instruction for that. The same thing you want to follow. Click on the link. Then you will get a screen like that. Here must need giving your first name and last name, and email is optional, right? If you like, then you can give the email. That otherwise first name and last name must. Then click on register. Right. After click on register, then you will open the question. Then I think it has some 5 or 6 minutes there, time restriction. Then you can start it now. Right. Open the start the question. Okay, here again back to the lesson. I think 10 of you are submitted. Others also doing it. Right. Here the online assessment. That's very direct link with the today's lesson. Once you are students, right? I am using the internet-based tool here to do the assessment, online assessment. You can also use this type of tools, right? Later I will show you how to use this one to create your own assessment. After you doing the assessment with your student, then you can get your student responses like that, the similar screen. Then look at the screen here, right? The first name and last name, that remember you gave it in the earlier when before starting the assessment, right? Then email is optional. Then date submitted, that automatically created that part, date submitted and the time. Then your score also there, right? Then together 21 out of 21, how much you earn. That score is here, that the teacher is getting some idea by looking at this score. The teacher getting some idea about the student. According to that level, the teacher prepared their feedback. The teacher can prepare the what type of feedback suitable for the student, right? This score is very important for the teacher's point of view. Then grade is available here. That don't worry about this grade or score for now. In your case, there are various reasons to give in when you are doing the assessment to get this type of scores. No, don't worry about that part now. However, the student teacher can some on-screen detail. These are the on-screen detail the teacher can get by looking at the result sheet here. In the teacher's point of view, he or she can get more detail about your assessment, right? By clicking select action here. Select action here, having a drop down arrow. And now I am select one student from here. Then once I'm click selection action, then there are three options: view, edit, delete, like that. Not necessarily this students responses is not further necessary, then you can delete it. Then you have access to edit also as a teacher, then also view, right? I'm going to view it here, right? Once I view it, then I can get it in that way, right? Then you are the answers, date submitted, name, score, and the duration. Also there are some basic information, and the responses, your responses for each answers, means questions here, right? The first one, the purpose of assessment is to collect student performance and progress, or giving judgment about their process. This is a true or false type question, right? Then answer is true. Second one, an online assessment process built up assignment through Google Quiz, Flexi Quiz is used to is known as construction. That's the matching type question. A text matching type question, right? The straight one answer is available. You can give it like that here, construction. The third one also straight direct matching type, text matching type, the process of assigning assessment to student through links delivery. That's also correct. Right, this session will be end a few seconds from now. Then you can join it again using the same link, right? Until that time, continue. Then fourth one, this type of questions known as multiple choice, right? There are many answers. They are allowing to choose more than one. Allowing to choose more than one mean multiple choice, right? Here, select all purpose of giving feedback, right? You are correct here. All the purpose you are selected correctly. Improve relationship between learner and teacher, support to improve extra learning, allow students to understand their position, to adjust learning strategies of student. Right, then next question, select all types of format